everyone. Well, as you can see tonight, it's me and the two young lads. The third one's fucked off to another live, so I think we should just boo him. Just because. Boo!
Yeah, it's about time. And look, we know where his priorities lie, so it's all good. Just let him fun at the moment.
Poor boy. Poor boy.
He's not chasing women through the woods. He's on someone else's show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We'll fun him. So, tonight, guys, I just thought we would have a general chat. Hi, Sarah Louise, because basically, really, with no guests, we've actually the first time we've not had a guest in a while, so I think we're just going to have a general talk shit.
Yeah. People in the chat.
I'm just actually going to take a drink.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. So, Ian.
Yes. What? I don't like your tone.
How's everyone's week been? How has everybody been?
Yeah, mine's been all right. We've probably discovered there's a ghost at the school I work at, so because it's been seen 3 times now.
Oh wow!
Get some info then. What is it? Who is it? Male, female?
Well, this is the thing. It's happened. Somebody's seen it twice in the same spot at roughly the same time in the morning.
Right.
And it's a solid dark figure. It's just a black mass, and it just walks past. And it's both times the woman's been in a room in the kitchen, and somebody's walked past the door. She's gone to see who it was, and there's nobody there.
Oh my God, that is.
I do. What you've been on about is caretaker.
Good, thank you.
She's not the sort of person who would make something like that up, but.
Do you know, I've actually had the pleasure of investigating in a school before, and I really actually did enjoy it. And like yourself, like many spirits getting seen there that many reporters, many people have seen. They've actually confused it at one point of being a caretaker there. So it's really interesting what these schools hold as well. Hello, gorgeous. Thank you for joining us.
Evening. I've not.
Oh, I'm fine, Nigel. Hey, Mark.
I've not done a school as such, but I've done a college, Lady Mabel College at Wentworth, and they were. How can I put this? Originally, they were like prefab buildings, and originally put up during the war, and they were used as a prisoner of war camp. Then it became a college, and they used them for digs. And then there were some permanent buildings built in the same location, exactly the same place. So there's quite a lot of activity there. They said that there's people from prisoner of war camp that are still there. So.
Yeah. The strangest thing of the story is I was actually a pupil at that school, and I know there was nothing there when I was a kid.
What, at your school just now, you were a pupil?
I work at the school. I used to be a pupil there.
Oh, wow.
I know. It was while I was living in my haunted house, so I know that place has got nothing in it, or it had nothing in it. So whatever's appeared.
Hello, Baldy. He says I'm never ever nice to him. Hello, Baldy.
He's probably right.
Don't you start either, Baldy. So how long have you been down in England then, Ian? You must be down there
a bloody long time.
So I take it you moved down there as a child?
Yeah, my ex did as well. She moved down here when she was 3-year-old.
Oh, well.
So she was born in here, where you are. She was born in here.
Exactly.
Moved down here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually a pupil the second year it was open, and the haunted. This is funny. The haunted house I lived in, the school is actually built on what was the original grounds of the house. So,
Oh, wow.
That's the possibility that there is a haunting, a residual haunting.
this is weird because it's only been the last less than 6 months that there's stuff been happening.
Yeah.
But
Somebody's disturbed something.
it's the 50th year anniversary this year, and we were talking today. We think it might be
Hi, Irene.
it might be the original headmaster, who, funnily enough, was Simon Fuller's dad.
Who?
Oh, wow.
The music man. So
I'm nice. I'm always nice to you. Yeah, honey, don't you be kidded. Hiya, Laura. He's always talking. Hiya, Lauren. How you doing, my love? Do you know what? Do you know what? I love, like, hearing stories like this, you know, when obviously I think it's a lot to do with the ley lines. Oh,
the ley lines go across the ridge, which is just up the road from my house, actually.
Yeah.
And that's where Crowley lived, funnily enough.
oh, you took Cowley, were you?
Well,
2
to
minutes,
school.
Eric.
I can't imagine him going back to school, can you?
No.
He'd probably want to be teaching the school. But
But no, I definitely like. I must admit, would love to find out the history with Cowley, like all the places, if they're all haunted, if they've all got a story of hauntings.
I think he invited a lot, didn't he? He invited a hell of a lot. I mean, especially that one in Scotland. I mean, he had it built intentionally with a lot of occult in mind, for my money.
yeah, well, if you came down here, Bri, you'd see, his influence down here, where he was part of the New Dawn. The cemetery, it's got New Dawn symbols in the window.
Exactly.
And they're all pyramids. But it's, I know that it's funny because he lived and died on the ridge, and he was supposedly penniless in his last days, which is why he was living in this house, this guest house. But he actually owned a house in Bexhill.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he owned a few that being not being disclosed.
But the tarot cards I've got that were his, that's where they came from, the house in Bexhill.
There you go.
So,
what was I going to say to you? Oh, here comes Eric.
What were we going to say? I missed the whole beginning part of it.
So here's an interesting thing, guys, right, that's made me curious, right, to why I want to understand about Cowley is, right, is because there was an investigation years ago, as I've told you guys already, the hotel had done, and apparently he left a vortex in that hotel. So I'm curious if there's any vortexes anywhere else, and why I mention ley lines is because I would love to see the ley lines where Cowley's been. Does that make sense?
Do you think there's a map that somebody has made of the ley lines already that you can just find somewhere, maybe?
They're being discovered all the time, and I think it's got a lot to do with that Skinwalker Ranch. I think there's types of ley lines involved there. There always seems to be that, especially when there's influences on the mind. There always seems to be some sort of, and they're realizing as well. I don't know if you've noticed this, Ian, that ley lines are not always on the ground or underground.
No.
They can actually be floating in midair. And I think this is what's going on for that Skinwalker Ranch, because they keep pointing out, I know it's a show, and I know they're exaggerating with a hell of a lot of things, but it's like old else, and it's like I've always said, there's a little bit of truth in most things.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they quit with the show side of it and did some more digging, I think that's an interesting place for me. It's a very interesting place. There's loads of tunnels that have not been disclosed. They're discovering tunnels. There's things being buried on property, and they don't know what they are because they're dithering. They say we're going to dig it up, and they haven't done. Yeah. You know. Oh, we need permission. What do you need permission of? They own it.
Yeah.
Well, for the digging, if they're Indian burial grounds, they need permission from the tribe that used to be on that land. So,
Oh, cheeky.
The points that need investigating aren't under tribal law or whatever. And the people involved. I mean, that the guy, what they call him now, he is a tribal elder, and he's in on it. So, give a clue.
I kind of want to say I'm thinking of you, Irene. I'm just going to 2 seconds, guys, because I'm trying to do something out. 2 seconds. Right, so I want to say to Irene that I hope that you're all right and you're really well, and we'll be thinking of you. Keep safe, please, Irene. Nick, Irene's saying that there's another typhoon coming towards Japan.
Yes, there is. There's it's another type. I mean, it's weak so far. It's like winds are only 90 miles an hour, but its name is Its name is Gucho, apparently, and it's almost taking almost the exact same path that Mauer took. I mean, it's not. I see Lauren in the chat.
Well, give
Good
me 2
part is
minutes,
it's not.
Steve.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, my pal's coming on. And all. Steve.
Oh, Steve.
But yeah, you were that. There's my friend Baldy. I'll tell you, you keep your fucking eyes off my star.
Great to see you, Lauren.
But sorry, you were saying, Nick, about the typhoon.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been. Oh, jeez, damn it, connection's going.
Yeah, you're freezing.
Sorry, my connection's acting weird.
That's because you came in early tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't ready for you, Nick.
I'll be back.
No, it's the damn vampire cows.
Yeah.
Oh, jealousy isn't a good look on you. Fuck you. That's what I have to say to you. But no, the last one caused a lot of flooding, but not in my area. I really hope that you'll be alright, Irene. I really do, honey. That's
okay.
because you
were
better
now.
Yep, that was because you were early, Nick. That's what was on. You came in early.
Yeah, it's now 15:15, which is normally when you turn up. That's why it's working.
That's it. Yeah. My internet. It looks like he's froze again. So it looks like he's having. Oh fuck, Dick. Do you know what? I want to take a picture of this while he's frozen. Don't unfreeze until I take a picture of the way that Nick's stance is.
Oh dear.
You're
broken. Like, don't leave. Don't leave.
It's usually my audio that's cracking up, but not today.
Don't leave. I got a picture of the stance. I'll put that up on Facebook.
I realise you could have watched it back later and paused it.
Yeah.
Here, by the way, I'll be putting this up on Facebook going like this. This is what happens when you're on time for a Friday show.
Have we got any questions? Any interactions?
Oh, I don't really do. ID says it must be the late night with the ladies for Nick. I think it is. He's been spending too much time.
Yeah, he's spending too much time in the woods.
Steve, I've sent you the link. If you've got it, honey. Steve's another investigator from Ayrshire.
No, I'm good friends.
But yeah, definitely. Oh, right, let's see it. Ladies and gents, is it going to hold this time? No, he's not even out the gate yet and it's crashed. Nick Radio to Nick Radio. Are you with me?
Yeah, It seems to be working now. Now it's really starting to stress the hell out of me.
Don't stress. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Steve, this is Nick, Ian, Eric, and Bri. This is Steve. This is
How you
another
doing?
investigator from Ayrshire, my good friends.
Tell you
How's
one
you,
thing,
my
Louise,
lovely?
I think I've heard the word fuck repeated more times for you than I ever have in my life.
That was a whole load of fucking. So, how are you? Where are you?
At home. At the back door.
Right.
Nicola's talking to her mum, so I says I'll jump on and say hello.
Hello to you. Irene says hi, Steve.
Aye.
Hello.
I kind of caught your... Hang on, I'm fucking trying to turn this up. Kind of caught your talk of ley lines and see how you were talking about Bullskin and Crowley and stuff. I think you do realise there's a castle in Kelly that's linked to him.
Yeah.
No, what one in Kelly?
That's what I was
Crawford
saying. There's stuff all
What
over
is that? You need to send me the name of that and I'll have a look at into that.
Crawfordland Castle. The family that owned it or own it just now are descendants of. Obviously their maybe grandparents or whatever were linked with Crowley. Just if you're going to phone and ask for access, don't mention that because they just hang the phone up on you.
I can imagine. Can I speak to Alistair Cowley? Dunk.
I expect if you phone up and say hi, it's Lois, they'll put the phone down as well.
That's what I do. See if I see she ever phones me, I just go.
It's like, fuck you.
No, apparently the family at Crawford Castle and the grounds of that area were linked with Alistair Crowley and his kind of followings, if you get me. So the minute you ask them, you say, I've heard your family are like linked to Crowley, they just hang the phone up you.
I take it you know that through experience.
You
of course.
thought they'd have enjoyed that link, though, wouldn't you? I don't get it.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a bit like down here. People down here don't talk about him that often.
No,
Yeah.
it's a strange place. Strange bit of, mind you, Kilmarnock's a strange place anyway. But
Well, I do want to go to houses there, so or whatever mansion.
I'd still like to do it though, but there you go. And I don't know exactly where Hastings is. Is it anywhere near Colchester?
Hastings?
Yeah.
On the East Coast, mate. Right down in the southeast. We're closer to France than a lot of people.
I was down near Colchester last week, but I didn't get a chance. Knocking on a bit by the time I got there.
Yeah, do you know where Brighton is?
Yeah.
Yeah, go that way. That way. We're about an hour's drive. Yeah, my camera's back to front. It confuses you.
I see what's the fucking
Go back to front.
If you go east from Brighton, we're an hour's drive. So
okay.
No.
Right on the
I'll have
coast.
to come down one day. I will come down one day.
Yeah, if you go
right,
too far,
quickly, guys. Quickly. If you haven't already, go and give my friend Steve a good follow. What's your page called again? Paranormal.
Ayrshire and Urbex Paranormal and Urbex Ayrshire. Ayrshire Urbex. I don't know.
Can't even remember his own page.
Paranormal. Ayrshire Paranormal and Urbex or
if it's anything,
Paranormal and Urbex Ayrshire. Fuck's sake. Paranormal and Urbex Ayrshire. That's it.
there you go. If it's anything to do with paranormal in Scotland, I follow you.
a few beers, you got it right first time.
I know. I made a roaring cunt of that one.
Sorry. I'm just going to make sure.
No, I
I'll
seen you popped up and said, look, Lois is live. I goes, I better jump on and say hello, because I did promise you I would.
I know, I would love you on a show one night.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get you on.
Into the thoughts.
I've actually not had any alcohol in about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well.
Get some down, you see there.
No, I'm saving myself from a holiday.
Where you going?
Oh, where are you off to?
Norway.
Norway.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Check that out.
Well, me and my partner's going up to the fjords.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be quite a spot for you guys, especially at night, because you guys will be able to see the northern lights from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, see, because it's July, I'm not sure how much. I think there's quite a lot of light in Norway at that time of the year, so.
It spells bad, there. Is it spells bad? That's in Norway.
Not sure.
Well, if you guys remember, my sister, I said she went to Norway last year, and she said it was very beautiful up there. So I don't think it really had any of that smell or whatever the case is. I mean, at least for them, they saw the northern lights.
We booked a sky lift. My partner's not keen in heights, so once we booked it, we watched the video, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" So the world's cheapest sky lift.
No, I'm no keen in heights. Me and Stephen went to Alton Towers, and Stephen thought I was kidding about being scared of heights, and he took me on the cable car, and he kept saying to me, "Look at the view down there, look at the view down." I mean, I'm like, no, thank you.
You should have been more sadistic when you started shaking it.
Oh,
it's a weird one, that. It's a weird one, though, because when I was younger, heights never bothered me whatsoever. I used to jump from pinnacle to pinnacle on crags. Think no on it. And now, when I look, my stomach turns when I look at edge. So, yeah, it's a weird one, that.
Yeah.
Thing is, when you're younger, you're fearless.
Yeah.
oh God, aye. Oh hell, aye.
My son's one of these that climbs bloody cranes and shit like that.
Aye, Bill.
He's a nutter. But
No, you're all right, Lauren. Lauren says we ought to try zip lining.
Zip lining.
Oh, no.
Love zip lining.
Yeah, zip lining is good.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but it's actually fun.
So what we're doing is we're on a cruise for a week, and then we come back. We've got Alton Towers for 2 days, and then we are going to York. So we're staying in one of the most haunted hotels in York, the Golden Fleece.
Well,
so I'll be dragging the Golden Fleece.
Yeah,
hey, Chantel.
It's not too far from me, York. I'm what, about an hour?
Oh, really? Wow.
So I'll be dragging my ghost hunting equipment to that.
Oh wow, you need to tell me what you get. Definitely, you definitely need to get a catch up and tell me all about it. Looking forward to it.
See, no, honestly, I think probably it's a pub, so I'll end up being drunk. So
yeah,
you've been going like this with the K2 meter, when the lads, hello.
Thing is, I'll still make more sense than you.
I'm going to start that story right after you, wanker.
Oh man!
Oh.
Oh, man.
And I could probably still cook a better pizza than you as well.
Fuck you, my pizzas have improved. Let me tell you. I'll only bum chicken curries now.
Yeah, Steve, don't mention chicken wings.
I didn't tell you about that, Steve.
The curry, it's supposed to be hot.
Listen, nobody told me that you're going to laugh. This is going to be one of the spots I'm going to break you, but nobody told me it was not like mince that you have to keep stirring it. I just thought you had to check it every half an hour, and I left it for 15 minutes and walked away. And it burned the arse. It burned the arse of the pot, but but nobody told me with chicken curry you had to stand there. Well, I wasn't exactly talking to Stephen that night. We fell out, so I just thought I would carry on.
Is it any wonder all Scottish men can cook? There's your evidence.
I can't.
You can. Better than her, by the sounds of it.
Just I think Louise has got a pizza cooker, so just says it to incinerate.
That was because one night Stephen asked me to make his dinner and I made him pizzas and he kept dunking it off. What happened was I brought it through and he looked at me and he looked at the plate and he actually was dunking it and it was like somebody knocking at the door. Like literally somebody was champing the door. He was dunking it. The tears were breaking me. I know.
He told me what he did was he actually took it outside and used it as a frisbee.
Well, put it this way.
For a frisbee, you could have called it a fucking knife.
Like, shut up.
Is that the one Fatima Whitman on the Olympics with and the discus?
Yeah.
It was one of the ones he was scared to eat because he broke his teeth.
Meanwhile, I'm in the PlayStation party, pissing myself laughing at this.
Do you know? Honestly, I was just thinking about you there because I was telling Stephen because tomorrow we've got a surprise for me, man. But it's basically near where my gran lived, and you came into my head when I told Stephen about when I was reminiscing about the story of obviously you being in one year and my gran being in the other year, and my gran was going on about how she was going to rip the boss off of Chloe's ex-man, and I didn't realise I didn't have you muted, and I could hear you laughing in my other ear because you could hear my gran through. I was like, can you hear my gran? And you're like, yes.
Listen, there's probably a lot of things have been said and heard in PlayStation parties that you know it shouldn't be repeated.
God, man. Oh wow. But hey, Nettie.
To be fair, it has been a while since I've done anything like that. So.
Oh, aye, God, is it just dunked the whole thing in hot sauce?
Nick was laughing so hard. That's all I thought.
That is true. Nick needs a deep.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I really don't.
Depends on
pads. If you want some pads, I could get you 50% off, Nick.
for the future.
Remember, do you remember the night we went to Leonard's Castle?
Yes.
Remember we all went and I get the whisper in the ear. Well, me and Nicola took the boys up last week during the day.
Tell us.
We did a wee spirit box session where actually the boys get their name through the spirit box at Leonard's Castle. So.
Oh wow.
So.
Oh wow.
Kind of took my stepsons up and gave them a wee shot at the spirit box to let them see because they're interested in it. So they thought it was great. So both of them got their name. So we went a wee mooch up there last Monday.
Oh wow. I have not. Make sure they're pads and not Tampax, Lois. I'll try, Nettie. I'll try. Get on the Kelly, how you doing, love? But no, that's really good. I'll always talk about Lennox Castle because it's one of my favourite locations. It's one of those ones where it's guaranteed that you will get something. If you don't get something, you'll definitely feel it.
Well, you know yourself, it's only one of two places I've been that I've actually legit shit my pants. So.
I do you know what? I'll never ever forget that. Right, Eric, right, Ian, Nick, right, Steve. And the whole time that I've ever met Steve, right, and I've known Steve and I've been investigating him, I've never ever, right, ever been on an investigation and see this man jump 10 feet in the air. What happened was I was standing behind him, so I think there was
you and Lindsay, Suzanne and Robbie were standing in front.
Hey, Terry,
there was nobody behind me because I was filming. And then it was as if something blew in and it just went like that in my ear.
Wow.
We're on live on Facebook and I was screaming. It's like.
In fact, see if I can pull up that live. I'll definitely put it on. Because I've lost a lot of my work, so I really do. Because obviously I've opened up my own page for myself and I've opened up obviously one for Frightners and the crime show. So I've lost a lot of my work. And I do miss it. Don't get me wrong, I've still got all the pictures and everything.
See, I just remember all the comments on the live feed. People were waiting for me to actually shit myself on a live feed. And it took them about 4 years and they finally got their wish. So.
What is that? But definitely not a day.
That's problem with a lot of stuff. Groups I've been with before, we've had some really, really excellent contacts and videos, but I couldn't access them because they were with another group, and I ain't got access to them. Simple as that. So I need new venues, new footage. I've got a few on my page, but I need some new stuff.
See, I stripped it right back again. I'm back doing my own stuff because obviously I had a team, and when you're trying to book places and stuff, and it wasn't working. So I'm back doing it myself. I took myself away from the limelight for a few years because I made a few cock-ups. My wife went to shit a wee bit, and then I basically built myself back up. So I took a break away from the paranormal. I'm getting back into it, so I'm going to drag with Nicola and the boys at places now. So it's good.
I've done something similar. I'm on my Todd at minute, so I take guests out. I do collabs, which I'm looking forward to a collab. Oh, and that was something earlier on. I've been seeing a few comments for Skegness Village Farm. Is anybody else going? I'd love to have gone, but I just can't make it this time. So that's on tomorrow if anybody's going.
Is that for the Simply Spooky events?
It's that Paracon.
Oh, aye. The one that Jacqueline Dixon and Wayne Deedon's talking at?
Yes, they are, yeah.
No.
Ian?
No, but I'd like to have gone, but timing's wrong as usual.
Yeah,
that's the shit thing. Timing is really push.
Yeah, I picked a good time to go working in schools, didn't I? So you're not allowed to have time off at school holidays. But
oh man, that's push.
Yeah.
There's no any. Do you know when I come to think about it, Steve? Because you'll know better than me. There's not really any paracons in Scotland, is there?
No, that was one of the questions I asked MJ Dixon if she'd ever do one up here. So
I was going to say, because it always seems to be American and, English based, but never ever, very rare you hear any in Scotland.
If I had more money behind me, I would do it, but it's just, there's no, paranormal wise in Scotland, it's a bit of a niche. You tend to get the same locations, it's like the same 10 locations as done at the F up here. There's no originality anymore.
Yeah, this is it. Everything's become, as we were talking about the other week, it's all contrived and fixed. And you've got resident ghosts that perform when they're supposed to and all that shit. To me, it's not natural anymore. It's not. It's too organised for me.
No, I get it.
And that's kind of similar for us. That's kind of similar for us too. I mean, like even in a city like Chicago, like we got a lot of places to investigate, but a lot of times you're always hearing about the same places too over and over again. And there's a lot of other places that often are not even talked about. It's like, for example, this restaurant and bar that I just recently investigated. That was like an original location because that had never been investigated. So you're always hearing just like the most popular ones, and sometimes, but you're also not hearing some of the other less famous ones. But as time goes on, they eventually lose their originality to it, and it's just nothing new to you anymore.
Exactly. I kind of noticed that. See with Ghost Adventures. I don't know if anybody's caught the special. See the new special. It's a lake they're walking around, and it's absolute shit. It's got really bad.
I believe it. I
refuse to touch it. So
yeah, I love Ghost Adventures.
I like Ghost Adventures. But I do like Ghost Adventures because obviously you get to see some place. Being from Scotland, you get to see places in America, but I mean, it's embarrassingly bad. I still remember that. Have you seen the Vaults episode, Louise?
What one?
Well,
The Edinburgh Vaults.
I was going to say,
No,
I used to watch Ghost Adventures like during their earlier seasons when they actually knew what they were doing. You know, up until really Nick's departure, before Zach basically became this power-hungry investigator. But it is embarrassing, also, actually, believe it on my part, because all this talk again about new locations, whatnot. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that episode when they investigated Joliet Correctional Facility in Illinois. They claim they were the first paranormal investigators. No, that's absolutely bull. I'm not trying to like claim it, because what I'm saying is actually true. They went, I think it was 2020. We actually did the first tours and investigations back in 2018, and I was among, I'm not saying the first, but I was one of the first investigators to actually investigate Joliet Prison. So they kind of took our credit away and said that they were the first.
Yeah, the big shows. I mean, over here we've got Most Haunted, and they do exactly the same.
I love the way Steve just chimes in with that laughter.
Louise, you remember my claim to fame in Most Haunted?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
I've been blocked by every single cast member on Twitter.
Yeah.
No,
You're right,
I know that. I know.
Cliff.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing? Yeah, Kelly, there's a show called Haunted Scotland. Me and Steve have actually went out investigating with Ryan O'Neill. When obviously it was Scottish Paranormal.
I've not been out with Ryan O'Neill for years, though.
Aye, but the last time, what I'm saying is we've been out there. We've been together when we went to Dundonald Castle.
Yeah,
that was the event. I remember that was the one I held.
Aye. Hey, Rigga.
That was actually the night I've caught the best evidence I've ever caught, and we actually asked obviously I don't know if he's clued up in the info. There was Independence, but the castle we were talking about was basically given to the Stuart family after the Battles of Independence. Now we actually asked a question: what clan are you affiliated to? And we actually got it clear as day on the spirit box, Robert the Bruce. And to this day, it's still the best evidence I've ever been there to witness. So,
I agree with Irene here. With Dead Files, it's a great show, but I know it's going through a major change for its newest season.
See, I like Nick Groff's. I like his show.
Nick's great.
The problem is with all the shows are the same. They have to keep stepping up the sensationalism to keep an audience, and you just can't do it unless you're going to end up like UFO networks that's faking everything.
See, this is why I like a lot of, with the exception of a few of these shows, like the newer ones. This is why I always like watching the older ones from like the like late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and that was some of those used to broadcast on a regular basis on the Travel Channel. And those shows, they are so, I'm glad, somebody's been uploading. There's actually a YouTube channel that's called, funny enough, they're here, but there's something else with, I can't remember the other name, but he has been uploading a lot of these old paranormal shows. Yep. And the one difference you see with those older shows compared to now was it was not about getting the best evidence. It was just more of just interviewing people about the locations, about the ghost stories, maybe have a few people do some investigating, not frequently, or talk to people who've had experiences. It was really the classic type of show that was really more or less just talking about ghost stories. It wasn't about getting evidence. And that's why I think a lot of these older shows are far better than what we have now.
See, when you look at Ghost Adventures is that's mainstream. That's one of the biggest ones. See, when you go back and actually watch the first few seasons, it is a bit dated, but it was really good back then.
Yeah, it was.
And then you could see as if the network gave them a bit more pressure to perform, because don't get me wrong, it's still quite cringy at times, but it is good at the beginning.
As you said, it's maybe I think what I'm fascinated with is the places. See when they go around. See if you take out minus the investigators and just give you a walk around of the place. Oh, I would be happy with that because I watched, and I'm not, as everybody knows, I'm not right on ghost shows. I'm no for them. I would rather sit and watch lives and things like that. But when they've done 28 Days Haunted, I was very fascinated where I do have her on my Facebook. Is it Brandy, the psychic
Brandy.
medium?
Yeah, Brandy.
And I can't remember what her partner's name was.
That
But
was he was the demonologist. I know.
Yeah.
I've met most of these guys. I'm surprised
Jeremy,
I don't remember his name. Yeah,
Jeremy.
yeah, that's who it was. Jeremy. Yeah.